Good evening, chat. Hello. Hi, guys. It's Wednesday. God, these weeks are just chugging on by here. These weeks are just chugging on by. Titan 2-2. It says too fat, too furious. Yes, too fat for y'all. Anyways, welcome to the show, everybody. We got an interesting one. It's something we covered earlier, and it's were we wrong? Were we wrong about what we know and what we had said? The sweater, the grandpa vest. Yes, it's cold out, chat. It's cold. It's cold outside. Right now here it says it's 62, but geez, we had yesterday like all rain, and now it's like it was cold as hell. So, it was rough. It was rough. So yeah, 2.0 made some like nice chili tonight. Nice, and it was like, well, obviously it was warm because it came out off the stove, but nice and well seasoned. And the tomato sauce is tomatoes. Like my mom had made a bunch of tomato sauce last year, and we were using it up. And it's very robust and tangy. It's tangy and acidic. It's the tangiest sauce ever. But my mom had made it. It was actually very good in there. Give it a little sweetness, but yeah, it's just a cold night, Chad. I'm gonna have to sleep under extra blankets tonight because I'm a little girl. I'm a little girl. So that's not gonna get clipped. Everybody's gonna be ready to Alyssa. Alyssa, help! Clip it. All right. Chili, where's Clyde? Oh, Clyde's still fine. Clyde, come here, bud. Come here, Bubba. Hey. There you go. He's like, help me, fat man. Bonbon's coming. He's like, help me. Oh, hold on here. Hold on, chat. I gotta do something here. Give me 1 second. How are you that fat but cold? Well, it's one of life's mysteries. It's one of life's mysteries. And also, there's just the issue of, I'm gonna take this off so I can actually handle Clyde for a second, chat. Hold on. Bon, hold on. I'm trying to wrangle some dogs here. Ain't no love in Papa-homa. Bon, watch out. There we go. Bon, watch out. Trying to make room for everybody. Yes, Clyde shock him now. Why? We saved those. We saved those. The only shock collars here are for the Haitians. They get shocked. Because it's fat usually means poor circulation. Now I've been okay with the cold, but when I started working, when I worked nights at FedEx, man, when I was in law school, just when you get paid to freeze your ass off, it's not as fun anymore. So, I mean, that's the thing. Like, as soon as it starts getting cold, I'm just like, not really into it. Not really into it. You're like, hey, let's go outside and play in the snow. I've been paid to do that. Not fun. Don't really want to do it. So, anyways, guys, he is okay. No shock collars in this house. No, we do eat tendies in this house, but no shock collars here. No shock collars. It's okay, Bubba. It's okay. It's okay, Bubba. You're okay, Clyde. It's okay, Bubba Bear. It's okay. It's okay. I'm going to set you down. Okay? Mwah. He's like, don't put me down with her. All right, let's see if I can get Bon. Come here. Bon. Hey, Bon. She's like, just jumps all over him. Bon. Hey, come here, Bon. She's chasing Clyde around all the time now. Clyde's like, no, I know what it feels like when I piss off the other dogs. And used to. That's it though. I will say this much. She has, for being a puppy, she has been pretty like all over Clyde and persistent. And Clyde, except every once in a while, he'll growl or a little bit of a snap. But overall, he has been a true. Like, he's been very sweet to her. He doesn't get territorial with the treats, the peens. I mean, she's chewed on his ears. He lets it all happen. I've been very impressed with him. He has been a gentleman. Yes, look at this very esteemed gentleman. Yes. Clyde Benoit. Is Bonbon acting like... No, she's just acting like a 9-month-old puppy. Clyde is a sharing dog, yes. Yes, Bonbon is good, yes. So... He represents a bean on the floor. Fuck. Thanks, babe. So we were eating chili, and a bean fell onto the floor, and I was like, "Oh, there's a bean on the floor, chat." And I'm looking at the dogs, and they're all just staring at me like, "What the fuck does that mean?" And then finally I said, "Guys, there's a bean on the floor," and they're like, "Oh," and they go grab it. I guess we can thank Bonbon for the Clyde sighting. Yes. Demons Rat says, "I want to see Bonbon." Bonbon has been very actually clingy to 2.0 the last couple of days. Like last night, she basically slept on her head. So I'm gonna try to grab her tomorrow for the Thursday show. J6 says, "When you sit and don't move, you're sensitive to the cold. I'm not surprised you felt more warm working at FedEx." Well, it's not that. It's just like, dude, I froze my ass off a lot of nights. I worked outside. Like, it was fucking awful. But when you're getting paid to go do it, it's a different thing. And, it just, I think I'm kind of like, when you see those clips of Bull Randleman on Band of Brothers, he's like, when obviously it's not the same, but he's like, when I'm in bed and there's a cold night outside, he's like, I just pull my covers up and say, thank God I'm not in Bastogne. And I sit there and think, thank God I'm not working outside at FedEx again. Oh, that would suck. That would fucking suck. So. I was today years old when I learned shock collars were originally developed in me. Yappa dog, shut up. Yep, they were. 100% true facts. If you guys aren't aware, Hassan Piker apparently uses his dog as a prop because people go, "Oh, look, dog in background. I'm going to stay," to drive up his viewership. And when his dog tried to get up and get off the dog bed, he shocked it to get it back on the bed. So, yes. As I told Adam Friended, imagine that. The guy who's a communist is a complete shitbag. Shocker. So, also add to the fact that he's, allegedly, a Muslim. It's like, yes, a Muslim and also a communist treat dogs like shit. Once again, not a shocker. So. Says, be less cold. Well, that thank you. That's a great thing here. Muslims do not like dogs, correct? Mystery Sniper says, my dad never liked working in the cold since the Chosin Reservoir. Yeah, I can definitely see that being an issue. Or, if you read, like I said, guys, a good book out there. It's called The Last Stand of Fox Company. When you just read about how fucking insane it was at the Chosin Reservoir. It was very, very, very interesting. Old clips of him threatening to kill his dogs came out too. That's not a prize. Was I in Sitch and Adam recently? No. I just was messaging. Adam was on Twitter, and I just said, "Wow, like you seem surprised." So, also, Muhammad's a false prophet. Well, there's always that too. Anyways, chat, we are live tonight on Rumble and Twitter, and obviously here on YouTube. So we are going to. Oh, no, I don't want to do it that way. We're going to go this way with it. I ate the entire Donner party. Well, yeah, when they said Donner kebab, that's what I thought they meant. We need the Sitch and Adam and then Anna and Sean guest show to happen. No, we don't. We do not need that. Never meet your heroes, chat. Never meet your heroes. There's a typo. Why? Were we wrong about Kyren Lacy? Isn't that, what did I misspell? What did I misspell? Kyren Lacy? Oh, shit. Okay, well. I'll fix that. Fix that. We'll work on that later. It's Kyren? Okay, well. My bad. My bad. My bad. It's an E instead of an O. Okay. It's not cold till it hits 20 degrees or lower. I know. But it's starting, and I'm starting to get cold. And I'll adjust. But yes, there's times where I can handle the cold. Like walking around outside is great. But then there's times where I'm just like, oh, I'm just a little girl when it comes to the cold. I'm old now. Yes, 26,900 notifications went out, making me look illiterate. Yes, it is. Well, hold on, chat. I got to fix this now. You told me it's wrong, chat, so we have to fix it. We need... let's see here. Why won't this work? Why won't this work? Why won't this work? Damn, it is so slow sometimes loading up your 26,911 chat. That means we had 26,000 September 11th in our number of subs. We're getting there, chat. We are slowly making the march. It's like Mao Zedong. We're making the long march through the institutions. So... So we are going to get started here, guys. It is time going here, and we're going to talk about what happened with Kyren Lacy. If you guys don't remember, this is a while back now. This is a while back. Lawyer, math, and spelling. Well, yeah, that's what happens. Yes, we were wrong. Michaela Strange. Jesus Christ. I don't know what this is, but Dugan Ashley uploaded 4 videos on his learning about PBX. Ooh, great. We got some more energetic Americas to watch, chat. Drummer on Fire says, what kind of dog is Bonbon? She is a Papillon. A Papillon. And you guys here. A Papillon is also, you know what they say, butterfly. And it's because their ears look like it. So let me see right here. This is a good example of a Papillon. Actually, here, this is a better one. If I can pull the picture up. This is the Papillon. And you can see it looks like a butterfly. See? It's got a wing, and it's got the and it's got the other wing, and the it looks like a butterfly. That's why they're called Papillons. So that is why they're called that. What is the breed known for? Steve McQueen had bred the breed on a small island when he was incarcerated. Funny. You guys are so funny. So it is the Continental Toy Spaniel is its actual name. So they are smart dogs. You know, they're big using them in agility competitions. What else do they do? Let me see. What else do they do? I don't know. What else do you do with the dogs? I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do with them. There's not a whole lot you can do with them, but like they're a spaniel, so I mean, like obviously you can like chase shit down with them and stuff, and they can go dig out and all those things. So it's not a spaniel; it's called a Continental Toy Spaniel. I'm just saying it's what Wikipedia says. Yes, they're being popular for being able to fit in a white woman's purse. Yes. All right, guys. So let's move on to Kyren Lacy. If you guys remember Kyren Lacy, he was a player at LSU, and he ended up being involved. It's not clear still what happened because we're gonna get to it. There's a lot of what the fuck in this, but this is Kyren Lacy. If you guys don't remember, he was played at LSU. Yes, LSU. So this is Kyren Lacy. And what happened, we remember, guys, we started covering this, and we'll start here. This is the this is what led to the negligent homicide arrest warrant. And this is kind of some basic things here. Now, what do we know? As this all started happening, there was a crash in Louisiana. And we looked on Google Maps for this originally, and it was kind of how this all happened. And I know we covered this, and it looked pretty straightforward, like the guy was driving like a big fucking dickhead and killed somebody. And we're like, oh wow, this is like kind of like nothing new. How does this happen? You're like, well, it's kind of straightforward. Sounds like Kyren Lacy was driving like a dickhead. So they talk about on December 5th in 2024, there was a two-car crash that ultimately somebody died. And they say that there were multiple things happening here. So the person who died was driving eastbound on Louisiana Highway 18. At the same time, a Camry was traveling west. For reasons under investigation, the Nissan crossed the center line and struck the Toyota head-on. And there are some issues here about what actually happened and how this actually went on here. And then they say, moving on here. I'm sorry, guys. We looked at the wrong one. Sorry. We're at the wrong thing here. I was looking at the wrong crash. This one here is kind of what happened. This is the one that took... this is the one that Kyren Lacy was involved in. Sorry, guys. This is on December 17th. And the crash here, the way they talk about it... Let me see here. I'm trying to... The way this happens, and if you guys don't remember, we were looking at this area of Louisiana. It's outside of Thibodeaux, Louisiana. I think that's how you say it. And we're down there in Louisiana. So we're down there. We're down there in the boot here. We're down there in the bottom of the boot. And this is where it all happened. And there's a Dollar General here, and we're going to see some pictures and video. The Dollar General's heavily involved. So what happened? Well, at the time, there was a vehicle traveling south on Highway 20 and entered the northbound lane and overtake multiple cars that were in a no passing zone. So that happened. At that time, and this is where we think this is at least what the police were telling us happened. Down around here, there were cars going south. And at the time, the allegation was Kyren Lacy flew around them and was passing a bunch of cars at once. Why you don't do this? Another car was coming the other way, and it stopped to avoid the collision. So it stopped. And when it stopped, this car was following along back here, had to swerve around and hit a car. So there was a head-on collision because Kyren Lacy was driving like a fucking idiot, is the allegation from the police. Of course, it happened next to a Dollar General. You guys are curious about those donuts? Did I pronounce Thibodeaux correctly? Okay. Edie, like this, I could see my house from here. Well, hey, Ag, where's Ag, our resident Louisianaologist? You know, Ag could tell us all about this area. No, there's no Waffle House right here, chat. I don't think there is a well. Yeah, there's no Waffle House in the immediate area. Yeah, there's no. Our Lady of Prompt Succor Church. And also, chat, there you go. All those that's the cemetery. So anyways, that's what happened here. Basically, Kyren Lacy is alleged to have gone into the passing lane, passed a bunch of cars, and that caused cars coming the other way to freak out and drive into the other lane of traffic. So, I live in Thibodeaux, Sean, not Ag. You're not a real Louisiana resident. You're not a real Louisiana resident. Ag was born and bred out on the bayou. He is Cajun as fuck. You know, the way you listen to Ag talk, and he grew up. His heart beats that bayou water. Do they have beignets? I don't know. You guys are wrong. Ag is the real EDW Raptor. Some fucking poser, probably from Florida. I'm not making a joke. I'm telling the straight truth. The straight dope. All right. Yes, you are the resident Kuyan. So from there, we actually have some footage and we have some information. There are some videos about what actually happened here. And it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. I mean, there are some things here. So this is the Louisiana State Police released some things. And ultimately, Kyren Lacy is charged for negligent. He's charged for homicide offense. And eventually, Kyren Lacy did take his own life in April of this year. And since then, his attorney has been fighting to clear his name. Well, Maddie, that's not 100% clear. It's not 100% clear. Were we wrong? We're going to get to why we might be wrong, because Kyren Lacy's strongest supporter is his attorney, Martin Fultz. Sorry, his attorney, Matt Ory. Matt Ory is his attorney. And Matt Ory kind of lays out some information where we're like, what happened? What actually happened here? And then over on Rumble, for Letty23 for $10 says, Sean, please explain the Dollar General equals grocery stores. Yes. In a lot of places, Dollar General is the general store and the grocery store for areas, especially that are low income. And especially now with like like Dollar General marketplaces, it happens. And then also, have I ever had a Madison donut from Geneva on the Lake? Yes, I have. I've had a donut from there. I've had hot dogs at Eddie's. Yes. It sucks, though, when you're up on Geneva on the Lake, because all the fucking tourists are there. But yes. Geneva on the Lake is a very nice, quiet place. The Waffle House is literally 1.1 miles up canal from that Dollar General. Oh, really? Let's see. Here. Because the Cajun Notary. Oh, we have to have a special notary because we're in Louisiana, I guess. Where is, you said up canal. So the Grand Bayou Mobile Home Park. I'm assuming that's a lot of them. A therapeutic touch massage. Oh, that's gotta be a nice. That's probably a rub and tug. I guarantee. The White Plantation. What? I don't know, chat. What happened here? Oh no. It survives. They survived, chat. But no, I don't see the Waffle House, guys. So if there's a Waffle House, I don't see it. Oh. They got Raising Cane's. Raising Cane's is nasty. All right. Anyway, we're up in where the hell was this at? Okay, so we understand where this all happened. From here, Kyren Lacy took his life. His attorney got involved. And wanted to defend him and thinks there was a lot of bullshit.
Segment is brought to you by. Hello again, everyone, and welcome.
Guys, this is a 45-minute presentation.
Welcome to Bayou Time. I'm Martin False, and if you recall, months ago, I had attorney Matt Ory on our program to talk about Kyren Lacy's involvement or non-involvement in a wreck that took place, which took the life of a very popular man, Mr. Hall. And it was well documented. It went national. It was talked about. It was written about. It was blogged about. It was all over the nation. So I did tell Mr. Ory back then, and I also tell everyone involved in this, whether you're an attorney or whether you're part of the investigation, you're always welcome to tell your story on HTV. So I told Mr. Ory, if you have anything to add to the story at any point, please give me a holler and we'll get you on. So joining me now is Matt Ory, attorney, and good to see you, Matt. Thank you for coming.
Good to see you, Martin. Thank you for having me.
Did you compile anything new?
I've got everything. I've got every piece of evidence I have viewed. I've examined every piece of evidence, which includes all surveillance, all body cam footage, and most importantly, the investigative report that was generated and manufactured by the Lafourche Parish District Attorney's Office, according to the data.
The Lafourche Parish District Attorney's Office. So we're going to skip ahead here. We're just going to get to where he starts talking about these documents. And this is a good, he breaks down what happened here. So here we go. This is kind of some breakdown of what we're dealing with here, chat. So.
Of the investigative report that I now have my hands on, we know from data that Kyren Lacy did in fact pass 4 cars. There's no disputing that. Further north, Kyren Lacy passed 4 cars. However, he was back in his lane of travel, 92.3 yards. Back in his lane, behind Mr. Hall. At the time of impact, he's 72.6 yards behind the vehicles at the time of impact. Keyword, behind the vehicles. That is not how this story was ever painted. Never.
It was not.
Part of the.
It was not painted that way, chat. And isn't that a little weird? Isn't that a little weird? This guy got into the accident and, this is a little sus. It does make you wonder what happened. So let's watch.
District Attorney's investigation that talked about Mr. Lacy getting back. I guess we call it, what do you call it? Correcting or getting in your proper lane?
Sure. He was back in his proper lane according to their data. This isn't my expert. This is the investigation of the Lafourche Parish District Attorney's Office. So I'm here simply comparing and contrasting the District Attorney's Office with state police in this matter, their investigations. And in that investigation, it shows that he was back in his correct lane of travel, 92.3 yards. Before this incident occurred, he was back in his lane.
What is the legal law state about where?
Isn't that weird how they show the crash there? But yes, what is the legal law? I love this. I love this guy.
Where you should be behind, or I want to say I thought it was 100 feet. Is that correct?
It is correct. Take out the fact here that it's a no passing zone. If it weren't at this time, it's 100 feet. What we know now is he was 3 times legally what he needed to be back in his lane of traffic.
Where was everybody involved in this? And I see you brought something that you could visibly show everybody.
Yeah, I mean, like I stated, if we're looking at this, and of course this isn't to scale, and I can't draw, but what you see here is vehicle 3. That is Mr. Hall's vehicle. This is.
All right, Chad, moving that up out of the way so we can see this better.
Is another vehicle between Mr. Lacy and Mr. Hall.
Okay.
This is the gold truck that's referenced in the report. This is heading north. So this is the lead vehicle heading north. And the vehicle that actually collided with Mr. Hall's vehicle, that would be vehicle 2. All right.
So that's, and guys, this is what I'm assuming he's going to draw some arrows here, but I'm going to help him out a little bit. Gold truck is going north. You know, and his argument is going to be, V2 went like this. And that's because everybody else was going this way, including Kyren Lacy. So this is the argument that he is presenting right now. All right. This is the argument he is presenting. And I like how he drew this because I already have a pre-drawn map. So this lawyer draws better than me. Well, I'm drawing with the mouse. If I'm drawing with the thing, I could do it right. EDW says, I don't think the police lied at all. Well, we're going to see. We're going to get into all of this. Thank you for drawing arrows for the Australians. Is it true V2's fault, even if Lacy made the truck slow down? Well, once again, we're going to get, guys, I want you guys to see what's come out in this, because there's a bunch of things I think we need to look at. Here. Let's take a look.
So through the course of this, now we start investigating and dissecting everything we possibly can. Mm-hmm. When we do that, we start with vehicle 2, right? So what do I know now about vehicle 2? Vehicle 2 was tailgating, all right? According to the data, again, of the district attorney's office, not me, according to their data, tailgating at 49.6 miles an hour, 0.5 seconds behind the gold truck, 1.5 seconds before the crash. So again, if that did make sense, she is following.
In chat, they're using black box data. So remember, the more technologically advanced these cars get, all this data. These data sets are helpful in painting pictures.
0.5 seconds behind this vehicle, 0.5 seconds behind that vehicle, 1.5 seconds before the crash at over 49 miles an hour. 0.5. That's what happens when you tailgate. Now, interestingly enough,
I mean, if she wasn't tailgating, she wasn't paying it. I don't know if she wasn't tailgating, so you notice the speed's consistent. I think that's the truck stopping, and she's like, oh, shit, and comes up on it really fast. Like, I bet she's on her fucking phone.
This vehicle was actually, when this woman was in the ambulance, they issued her a ticket. All right.
Okay. EDW Raptor brings up she was speeding too. The speed limit is 40 miles an hour. Okay. Thank you.
You know, for what? Take a wild guess.
Distracted driving.
Following too close.
Okay. Well,
they even told her it's in your personal belongings. Fast forward. Another trooper comes and is looking for that particular ticket. And that ticket, they told her, something may happen to the ticket, don't worry about it. Sure enough, something happened to that ticket down the road, right? The ticket now needs to fit a better narrative. And that ticket now says, crossing left of center. Why? The black box is telling me. The data from the district attorney's office tells me you're traveling 0.5 seconds at 49.6 miles an hour, 1.5 seconds before the accident. That's not tailgating? Now, what we're looking at, this isn't speculation. Through this, we hear there's story after story. Actually, vehicle 2's story got bigger and bigger and bigger until we now have their data, right? So when we get our hands on it, I'm looking at the data from that particular vehicle. That data in that vehicle shows me 5 seconds previous to this crash. 5. I'm looking at it, and you're going to show it. 5 seconds previous to this crash, she maintained a speed of 49.6 miles an hour, never activating the EBS system until 0.5 seconds before the crash. Why is that important? Because if your story, which we'll get into, keeps getting bigger and bigger, and you had all this time to see The
I
gold
think
truck,
that's what happened.
in her words, stomp on their brakes, slam on their brakes, come to a stop, veer off the road. I see another vehicle approaching. I see the Charger approaching. Well, my question to you now becomes, how did you see that vehicle approaching or him stop or him slam on his brakes, yet your data says you never touched your brake prior to 0.5 seconds before that crash? I'm looking right now. So are you at the last 5 seconds, according to her.
Jesus.
Her car's black box, not mine, not my expert. That's her car. So if you're going to tell me a 5 to 10 second elaborate
EDW, does everybody in Louisiana call it a core? A core? Because it makes me want to go drink some beer.
story, it needs to make sense. And when you have the data, not only doesn't it add up, it's not possible. Notice on there, Martin, it says 75 degrees, right? You turn 75 degrees to the left all of a sudden. That's what happens when you tailgate. Now, interestingly enough, this vehicle was actually, when this woman was in the ambulance, they issued her a ticket.
Ambulance. Right? Ambulance.
You know for what? Take a wild guess. Following too close. Data from the district attorney's office tells me you're trapped.
Wait, did they redo that? Because I think we already went through that. I'm pretty sure we already heard that part. There's more documentation here, guys. And this is that sheet. So this is the actual sheet from the data recorder that they put together. So yeah, if she's turned 75 degrees, you know, that's yeah, she's turning pretty hard. That's trying to get out of the way really fast. Really fast trying to get out of the way. Yeah, left turn is 90 degrees. Yep. What's her citation? Following too close. Yes, a lawyer that repeats himself. No way. Well, yeah. So from here, he does talk about some other documents and things that were put together. And it says, upon reviewing the body camera, the following statement was made by, and I'm assuming this is one of the other parties. She says, I just know the truck was stomping on the brakes.
Right before the crash.
The other car was
I'm
trying
looking
to
at the
pass
pickup
her.
truck in front of me. That's all they see for the moment. I'm eating my Funyuns. I got in the middle of my lap and I'm driving. I'm listening to my music. All of a sudden, I see the car get in the other person's lane. The truck, in quotes, steps on his brakes. First, so it slows down, but then he does it again, and this time it's really hard. That's when you can see on the other side, the car is trying to get back over. But before he can get over, the truck stops in the middle, like on the brakes, hard. There's another car that runs damn near into the pole.
And notice this lady talking about eating her fucking Funyuns and shit. I'm eating my Funyuns. I got them in the middle of my lap. So she's distracted while she's driving. She's eating her Funyuns. And they say that, you know, I'm trying to get to the dollar store. And it says, when you're looking forward, the cars in front of you swerve. They swerved to the left or right. She said, the green Charger came, and then the car came behind me. Behind them, the truck or van.
Brakes. First, so it slows down, but then he does it again, and this time it's really hard. That's when you can see on the other side, the car is trying to get back over. But before you can get over, the truck stops in the middle, like on the brakes, hard. There's another car that runs damn near into the pole. It's either I run into him or I try to get out the way, so I'm trying to get into the dollar store parking lot. Then the other car just comes and slams into me. The trooper asked vehicle 2, whenever you're looking forward, or the cars in front of you, they swerve off to the right before you make your left, or are you looking at a green Charger?
And I'm not gonna lie, chat. Maybe this is just how they're wording this, but I'm really fucking confused. And BCM is correct. I agree with him. How can you see all this stuff if there's a truck in front of you? I would get it if you were like in a dump truck or something high off the ground, but you're in a Kia Cadenza. So how do you see what's going on in front of you? I don't know how you see all that. I don't know how she would see any of this. So for her to say she's seen this really sets off my bullshit detector. And I don't know if he gets into that here, but it does for me.
Coming at you. Or, in end of quotes, vehicle 2 responded with, the green Charger came, and then the car behind me, behind them, the truck, the van, whatever. The trooper does not ask any further follow-up questions to get a better understanding of what she was saying for this answer. Now, remember, I'm reading what the investigator's saying.
Mm-hmm.
When vehicle 2 states the truck stops in the middle of the road like on the brakes hard, this statement indicates that the gold truck stopped in the middle of the lane and not, in quotes, swerving off to the right. This would also show that vehicle 2 would have steered to the left to avoid contact with the gold truck and not Kyren Lacy. During this interview with the trooper, vehicle 2 made several statements that do not match the submitted report or written statement. Instead of questioning vehicle 2 for more details, the trooper attempted to recap what she was saying, which seems to contradict her statements. While doing this, the trooper is the first to talk about the gold truck swerving off to the right. Then when it came to obtaining the written statement, the trooper tells vehicle 2 what to document on the statement as she is writing.
I have two questions here. One, I'd like to know more about the statement that she made to the trooper. The other one would be, do we have any data on the gold truck?
2.99 seconds before the gold truck eases off to the road, eases off of the road,
Right.
He's traveling at 28 miles an hour.
Right.
That all is in this report.
Yeah, that's my question.
You watch someone slam on their brakes. You watch them stop. You watched a car chart coming at you in your lane of traffic, but you never thought to just tap the brakes? Really?
No.
Data is accurate. The black box is accurate that says that you never touched your brakes. You never touch your brakes in the last 5 seconds until 0.5 seconds before.
That's a very compelling point. How did all this shit happen and you just keep hauling ass down the road? Yes, I understand. We're going to get to that, Mr. Sniper. We're going to get to all this. But I just think it's important. Like, we're going to see the whole story, and you guys are going to make your own conclusions off of it. But we're going to do the whole thing. We're going to do the whole thing here. I think it's worth watching. I think it's very much worth watching. And then real quick, amateur iconoclast for $5 says, in all fairness, maybe his son needed the shock collar for his own protection after what iDubbbz did to his dog. Yes. Jefferson Post says, commies get the ride. Dog shockers get rotors. Yes, they do. And then EDW Raptor for 10 sobs. Let's go, chat. Some freaking support tonight. Thank you guys for that. Thank you so much. Thank you. And Letty, thank you again for your Rumble rant. And Letty, thank you again for your Rumble rant for $10. Thank you. We'll catch up some of the other stuff there. Yeah, she was eating her Funyuns. Yeah. So. Not yet, Boosh. I didn't get to you yet. But if you want to, I can do that real quick. Just for you, Boosh. Boosh, who's been a member for 9 months. Thanks, Boosh. Says, more like the Dahmer party, am I right? I feel like a newborn. Yes, well, welcome into the world, little one. So let's keep just listening here what happens.
The impact. That's their data. It's not mine.
Proceed. What did you find out?
Statement started.
So this is going to be the statement given by the guy in the gold truck. So here we go. We're going to kind of bounce around from here, but I think it's important to see what this guy's put together.
Okay. Let's roll that in.
So this is the Louisiana State Police.
All right, sir. So, look, don't worry about filling any of this top information, like your name, address. Don't worry about any of that. Just right here, if you could, I'll just have you write exactly what you saw. Just make sure to include, where you were.
I don't even know what the name of that highway.
So Highway 20. Highway 20. That you just.
All right, man.
And that's not a problem that he doesn't know the name of the road because, like, well, where the fuck was I? Like, okay, here's where you were. Now tell me what happened.
How are you going to figure out right quick?
Okay, just make sure you add in there that you had to slam on your brakes and the brakes, you had to slam on the brakes to avoid that charger and the
That's what we're gonna find out tonight, Sweet Tooth. We're gonna find out tonight.
brakes locked up to avoid that charger. That's
I ain't skid mark or nothing. I wasn't even going for it. That lady in the back of me, She didn't saw what was happening. That's how she called that wreck. And she was running in the back of me. She pulled on the other side.
Mhm.
Notice what he just said. The lady back of me, she caused that wreck.
I didn't.
So, but the Charger was coming right at you,
Right,
correct? And
right.
that's why you had to
Head
slam
on
on your
with
brake, head on with you. So yeah, just make sure you include that, and that's very important because we're trying to locate this Charger right now. So just include that in the statement, and I'll read it over, and then I'll be out of here.
In that video, you can clearly hear the suggestive nature indicating that I need you to say that you had to slam on your brakes and you had to avoid a Charger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just make sure you add in there that you had to slam on your brakes, and the brakes, like, you know, you had to slam on the brakes to avoid that Charger, and the brakes locked up to avoid that Charger. That's.
But then you hear Gold Truck, the witness, who's the Gold Truck, what he says. And he says verbatim.
I ain't skid mark or nothing. I wasn't even going for it.
Yeah, he says, I didn't skid mark or nothing.
That lady in the back of me. She didn't saw what was happening. That's how she called that wreck. And she was running in the back of me. She pulled on the other side.
Mhm.
I didn't.
I didn't skid marked or nothing because I wasn't even going that fast. That lady in the back of me, she didn't see what's happening. That's how she caused that wreck. She was going to run into the back of me, and she pulled into the other side. But there's a bigger problem. I then obtained the actual written statement.
And this is from the Gold Truck.
This is the Gold Truck. Now, after the statement we just went through, notice I've obviously redacted names, addresses, and the cell phone number in fairness to the individual who is Gold Truck number one in oncoming traffic. See, the problem with that statement is it is in direct contravention to what was said.
And Eric, this is where I agree. She wasn't tailgating. He says that. She just wasn't paying attention. And I think that's a more important point to make. So I think that's very critical. And I agree with you. I very much agree with you. Whiskey 77's been a member for 16 months. Says an 810 run is incoming. Cleared hot. Cleared hot. Not sure the Gold Truck driver is qualified to determine liability. He's not determining liability. He could say, yeah, this lady came up behind me and swerved out into traffic. You know, she was following him, and then she crossed the center line and hit another car. I think it's easy to argue that she was liable. I mean, you don't have to have a legal opinion on it, but you could just be like, yeah, this bitch did it.
And it's earlier. It's not written by him. And where it says signed, it's not signed. It's refused. But you see, when I have a witness who is the most critical, and he's telling you, I wasn't traveling fast. We know now that he wasn't. The data shows 2.99 seconds before that he was traveling 28 miles an hour. The data shows that. Now he corroborates that. And he goes on to say, I didn't even make a skid mark. That woman behind me, she caused that accident. And you give me this statement that is refused? I got a problem. I got a problem with that. That is complete opposite. And what?
And chat, here's his statement. This is the statement Matt Orey's talking about. Notice down here, it does say refused. It says signed by the person signing it, refused to sign it. It says Highway 20 green Charger coming head on, passing multiple cars, coming head on. I had to slam on brakes to avoid accident. I had to, I think he's trying to say veer off road to avoid getting hit. Then stop 48, check on the cars behind me and wreck. I was traveling north. The Charger was traveling south in wrong lane. And the guy was like, I ain't fucking getting involved in this. I ain't getting involved in this. I ain't getting involved in this. So it's very, very important here to talk, like, to realize this stuff is happening. Then real quick, Whiskey 77 for 40 sobs. Let's fucking go, chat. Let's fucking go. That's what happens that's what happens, guys, when you crush the Grays. That's what you're doing, literally. Literally. When you gift memberships, that's how you're doing it. So, Whiskey, thank you for your support and your generosity, guys. Remember, Whiskey 77 and 3 Beers doing Assholes React. You can find them on YouTube at A-Holes React, Sunday nights at 9 o'clock. I understand. I'm going to catch up on those. That was the thing right there. So, and now we backtrack. Skeeve Man for £5 sterling. Says 62 Fahrenheit. It didn't even reach that in Scotland in the daytime. I thought Fat Man never felt the cold. Well, this Fat Man does. And then EDW Raptor says $5. The White Plantation is where SCOTUS Chief Justice Edward Douglas White was born. Cool. Thank you for that. And Brewberry saying, was the woman driver Asian? I had the feeling no, she was probably black. If I had to guess. Thank you, Brewberries. So, yeah, it was very interesting, the suggestions from that trooper. Now, guys, I'll tell you this much. And also, Letty23 over on Rumble for $10 more, saying Rumble lets you keep more of that cheddar. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But once again, guys, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Yes, obviously a super chat or Rumble rant support. Liking this is support. Commenting support. Lurking is support. Building an N-word tower is support. Whatever you guys do, I appreciate it in any way that you guys wish to support me. I appreciate any and all of it. So, thank you, Letty, for your support over there. Now, yeah, once again, guys, you guys may say, well, that happened. I'm like, this happens all the time when police do police reports. They are very suggestive to people. They are very suggestive to people there. So let's just keep going here. There's a little bit more to this that I want you guys to see.
What the hell was the point of this report? It is complete opposite. I would expect that you'll show this to where they can read what was said versus what was written just minutes earlier.
Just make sure you add in there that you had to slam on your brakes, and the brakes, like, you had to slam on the brakes to avoid that charger, and the brakes locked up to avoid that charger. That's.
I ain't scared motherfucker. That's what I wasn't even going for. That lady in the back of me, she didn't saw what was happening. That's how she called that wreck. She was running in the back of me. She pulled on the other side.
Mm-hmm. So, but the charger was coming right at you, correct? Right. And that's why you had to slam on your brake, the head on with you. So just include.
By the way, the body cam wasn't on for this statement. It was turned off before obtaining this statement. And this is what we get back in a file. This.
That's pretty fucking sus, too. The body cam should have ran the whole time.
Remember, Kyren passed. I'll just put X's. This is where Kyren passed, right? He comes here, he passes. He gets back in his lane. Don't you know that one of these witnesses that's in this package actually says in his statement that the Charger passed through the vehicle of Mr. Hall and the gold truck and vehicle 2, and then they collided. I can't make this up. This is what people just don't get to see. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm not saying this intentional. I'm saying people commit to a story and they don't back down. You saw it here, but I'm telling you.
That's very true. You think you saw it the way you saw it, so that's the way you tell it. That's not uncommon. It's not uncommon with witnesses. Ski Man's been a member for 11 months. Thank you for the support. Says, is sleeping through a stream support? Sure. As long as it's running, that counts. Sean Rutledge says, and I think this is a very good point, this is an astonishing level of rectitude on the part of the driver of the gold truck. It's hard to resist the suggestions of authority. It is very, very much. It is not easy. It is not easy. And yeah, there's nothing wrong with saying eyewitnesses get it wrong all the time. They do, but that's why they're eyewitnesses.
You guys saw a video. You just saw a statement where somebody tells them what to say. They tell them that's not what happened. They still give me the statement. And now I got another individual who we won't harp into here because it's so uncredible, right? That one individual one of the four individuals here, they say that they were going 30 to 35 miles an hour when Kyren passed him. He did. There's no disputing that. No one ever did, but he was back in his lane of travel. 92.3 yards back in, 72.6 at the time of impact. When they collide, he is 72.6. Before they collide, he is almost a football field away back in his lane. That's not disputed. What you can see is another car come to a stop, and then Kyren Lacy come to a stop. But you know what's really interesting to me as well is that there was another passenger in Kyren Lacy's car. They knew this. They have video footage of this individual getting out of the car. Why didn't you ascertain his identity? Why would you not?
That's interesting. Like I said, guys, we're going to get to the police side of this, but that is very interesting.
Want to hear the person with one of the best views of this incident. Why would you make a call? Why would you simply not bring him in for questioning?
And I'm sure you talked to him after.
Of course, I talked to him after. It's exactly what they said.
Yeah.
It's exactly what they said. Mm-hmm. They actually thought at one point in time that she collided with the gold truck. That's the very first thing they told me, that they thought that this vehicle 2, was trying to get around the two, as in slide between them, as in, uh-oh. You know, so you can see why. This is just amazing now, what I know, and there's so much more. We've spent hours and hours and hours scouring, but I don't know how else to tell anybody else that this is not mine. I didn't generate this. I didn't manipulate this. I didn't alter it. I didn't manufacture it. I received it from the district attorney's office. I then did my job, and I compare it to the report and the investigation of state police, and it is drastic. It's drastic. The very last line of the report from the district attorney's office says, the evidence submitted in the crash report does not support that Kyren Lacy should have known that his actions were the cause of the crash that happened approximately 72 yards in front of him. And what we know is we never disputed ever that he passed those vehicles. They were in a row, 4 vehicles in a row. We know they were going 30 to 35 miles an hour. He passed them. It was a no passing zone, but he got back in 92.3 yards. He was back in his lane of travel. He was 72 yards behind at the time of impact. We know that now. He was actually the second car to pull up behind, not even the first. At no point in time did he have to slam his brakes. He wasn't even close to the second car. He just eased in. He eased in. He went straight from there to the facility in Schriever for his football practice. But he had no idea he caused this accident because he didn't think he caused the accident. He didn't cause the accident.
When did you get knowledge of it? When did you first get on the case itself? When were you notified?
Weeks after. Remember, from the time of this investigation to when a warrant was executed, they were weeks apart, right? And then I get involved after that. By the time I get involved, he's already charged with this. So that's a circumstance that I inherit.
Right.
But, you know, you hear things, you keep your eyes open, you keep your ears open, and you listen, and something wasn't passing the litmus test here. So, you know, when you look back on this and you see actual data, it's not mine, that shows these types of things. And you go as far as a witness saying he split between 2 vehicles and then there was the spontaneous combustion. It truly should open some eyes, right? That is not even close to what happened.
As you started your discussion.
So that's really the main thing he gets on here, and he goes and goes and goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. So from here, we're going to go on to what the Louisiana State Police released, because they released something of their own. So here we go.
I'm Colonel Robert Hodges, Superintendent of Louisiana State Police. You're about to view a critical incident briefing video that is intended to give the community a better understanding of the incident that occurred. The video is included. That's
not a very Louisiana name. Are we sure this guy's not from Alabama? This is I'm not very convinced he's from Louisiana.
inclusive of evidence related to the incident, which may include 911 calls, body-worn camera footage, and other relevant information. As this comprehensive investigation develops, our understanding of the incident may change as additional evidence is collected, analyzed, and reviewed. The department's ability to investigate these incidents relies on the impartial and transparent investigations, as well as considering the potential criminal responsibility of those involved.
On Tuesday, December 17, 2024, Louisiana State Police Troop C began investigating a fatal crash that
So this is them recounting the crash for us, guys.
occurred on LA 20 near Perez Lane and Chack Bay, located in Lafourche Parish. This investigative briefing has been prepared to provide clarification of the facts and an accurate depiction of the evidence in the moments leading up to the crash and the subsequent investigation. Due to differences in technology, the timestamps on the business surveillance footage may not align with the actual time data recorded by Louisiana State Police based on recorded radio communications. According to the video timestamp, at 12:03 p.m. and 52 seconds, a green Dodge Charger is seen traveling south in the opposing lane on LA 20 at a high rate of speed, passing 3 passenger vehicles and 1 loaded 18-wheeler in a designated no passing zone with a 40-mile-per-hour posted speed limit. As the green Dodge Charger returns to the southbound lane, aggressive braking and engine deceleration are immediately followed by a crash that can be heard on the surveillance footage.
Here we go.
According to the video,
So that's interesting. Even the highway patrol is admitting he got into the other lane before the crash happened. He got back in his lane. He stayed in his lane, chat.
timestamp, at 12:03 p.m. and 54 seconds, a portion of the crash can be seen as it occurs. Moments before the crash, the gold pickup truck abruptly veers out of the northbound lane into a business, while the green Charger is approaching in the same lane. Immediately after the crash occurred, the green Charger was observed on surveillance video and by witnesses traveling through the crash scene and continues north on LA 20, failing to
That's not really a problem. He's allowed to continue on. And notice they're not clear with how they're charging this. Like, what is he doing that's illegal right now?
stop. At the same time, all other vehicles remain at the scene to provide assistance. The briefing will now transition to the troopers' response and investigation. At 12 o'clock p.m., a 2-vehicle injury crash with road blockage was dispatched to Louisiana State Police Troop C via the 911 dispatch system. The responding trooper arrived on the scene at 12:07 p.m. and was immediately met by numerous witnesses who described a green Charger driving aggressively and causing the crash. The video has been edited for time purposes.
Region 2, be advised, we got total road blockage on LA 20.
If you get a chance, can you advise code of injury?
Civil.
It's a natural instinct to turn and then she had no get head on.
Did you see a green Charger flying that way? A green Charger that going that way?
There was a green Charger. That's a green Charger that caused all this.
SRT8, he caused all that. He went to pass the cars way back there, sir.
The green Charger collided with these cars?
He went right
He went around that truck, okay?
He was passing up with her right now.
And she had no choice. She hits the road. She gets this.
How are the injuries? What
She
are they?
got a broken ankle.
Playing and back injuries and then stuff like that. I was on
So
the phone when
2 back injuries, 1 broken ankle?
Yeah.
I just told him not to move. You know what I'm saying?
You said something about a green Charger. Who told you something about a green Charger?
I'm down 18 wheel right there, sir.
Okay, so you saw it?
I saw it.
What did you see happen?
He went to pass him. I say when he went to pass me cars back there around around the curve. All right?
Okay.
All right. Hey, he come down, right? When he come down, I got Mr. He had his brother that he was taken to the emergency room, to the hospital or something like that, chemo, something like that.
All right.
But I got his number also to verify this, because he was the car that was in front of her. When that green Charger came, he went caused this whole big traffic, so everybody went to hitting brakes because the Charger, I thought he would hit the gold truck head on. So he jammed on brakes.
And this does sound like the guy at the house.
She was coming down. They was going that way. When I saw,
which way was the Charger going? The Charger
going this way.
Charger's going this way.
She was coming this way.
Okay.
They was going this way also. Mr. jammed on brakes. She went to dodge Mr. And that's when she came on.
I was about to gas
hit him, on the left side. She come over and hit him.
Which 18-wheeler were you driving?
The rebel.
Okay. So the Charger, I guess, passed you up.
The Charger D-line, it was cars behind me because I'm taking my time.
And the Charger passing all these cars in this
everybody.
lane. And so almost hit this one head on.
No, he almost hit this. It was a gold truck. I got his number right here. That's why I took his number and his name.
Almost hit the gold truck head on.
Yeah, that's his number and phone number and name.
This guy's not the gold truck dude.
So the gold truck, what did the gold truck do?
The gold truck in his area right here.
The gold truck slams on
brakes to stop the Charger. The Charger swerves back in.
Okay.
And cut somebody else off, whoever was behind them.
Okay.
But then they slammed on. They was no. The Charger, he swerved in front of them. They slammed on brakes, and by this time, he slips through, right?
Okay.
As he slips through, she's coming. She like to ram the back of the gold truck. That's what I'm saying.
She almost hit the back of Mr.
Yeah, Mr.
Was Mr. truck hit?
No. He was missed.
Okay. So the truck, Mr. He slammed on it.
No, it was right up. The gold truck was right up there.
Right. Yeah. He slams on his brakes to avoid the Charger.
Yeah.
This car, what?
Cuts that car off, if I'm not mistaken.
So what does this car do? It just swerves out the way to avoid.
So because I was watching it too.
She turned the wrong way. Yeah. Instead of going towards the post, she turned this way.
Yeah. Okay, so she turned this way, and then this car was just coming.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. And then the Charger came around.
That's the number for the guy that was in the gold truck.
Okay.
Charger passed in between the mailbox and
Charger stopped.
That's a good because he was using it, but
Okay.
And see what happened, the Charger had stopped.
Is a green Charger?
Yeah. But then when he seen what happened, he almost hit me because he came right here. He kept on.
He's the only one that that jumped out of traffic. Everybody else turned around went the other way. He jumped out of traffic, eased through here, and went on down the road.
Okay. Look, I know it's hurting right now.
Okay, so that guy's the guy. Apparently, EDW saying the guy in the semi truck. That's telling us everything. Does semi not have dash cam? I don't know. So what are we doing again here, chat? So here's what we're gonna show. This is kind of what happened here. So the way we understand it, the gold truck is coming this way. Like here's the gold truck. I should probably make that gold to make a little more sense out of this. The gold truck is right here. Here's the gold truck. He claims that Kyren Lacy was passing cars and coming this way. Now, obviously farther back, but he had, was coming back. He had come back into his lane already. The gold truck panicked, in response to all of that, and he slowed down and veered off. And then from here, God damn it, I lost it. Son of a bitch. I hate this. So anyways, here's the gold truck. Here's Kyren Lacy. He was passing and then he got back into his lane. What the gold truck guy is claiming is that another car was coming up behind him and they weren't paying attention. So they panicked and went like this to get around the truck. And as they did, the cars that were in front of Kyren, which in this case would have been a red car, hit them, and then Kyren just went through and took off. That's kind of roughly what happened here. It's kind of roughly what happened. So double yellows mean no overtaking in the United States. Correct. That's a no passing zone. So his attorney admits it. He shouldn't have been allowed to pass. He shouldn't have been doing what he did. But, yeah. Hassan Abi shock colors is distracted by donuts. All right, well, if you guys want to check, apparently it's Taste Cream Donuts. I don't know how tasty it is or how much cream there is, but, you know, you can call them and ask and tell me what the creamiest donuts around. You need a car wash in Louisiana? It just rains all the time, doesn't it? Wait, this is the Dollar General they're all talking about. Oh, shit. Hold on, chat. Hold on, chat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, chat. Hold on. I messed up here. Sorry. We were not watching this. Sorry. I was watching it myself.
Okay. You remember how fast you were going?
The speed limit.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
While on scene, the investigating trooper obtained written and recorded statements. The trooper also spoke with additional witnesses via phone and ultimately obtained written statements later in the investigation. After the crash, the passenger in the Kia Sorento died. As part of the continued investigation, the investigating trooper made contact with the driver of the gold truck at a later date to obtain an official written statement based on previous conversations.
Notice this written statement, though. This is a different statement. Notice on the body cam where that guy showed up, it was 12:22. This is now 1:16. If that's the same thing, I don't know if this is the exact. Let me see if it's the same statement here. I don't know if that's his or not. We'll just keep going here for a second.
Troopers also received an additional witness statement describing the erratic driving behavior of the green Charger 10 minutes before the crash. Following the on-scene investigation, troopers identified the green Charger as a vehicle of interest and utilized 21 separate surveillance video cameras to capture the uninterrupted.
And chat, here is an example of what they're talking about. Here's the car wash. Here's the Dollar General. And basically their argument is, here's Kyren Lacy coming down, driving. As this happens, gold truck veers off the road. As that happens, a lady behind them goes, ah, and drives into oncoming traffic. And they're arguing Kyren Lacy started all of it, which he very well could have. But the way this was initially presented, at least the way I thought initially it was presented, like Kyren Lacy got like all the way up to here and went, not like 100 yards back and fixed it. But I could see that being an issue for
Path of the green Charger from the crash scene to a Thibodeaux business 11 miles away. Through the use of investigative tools, troopers were able to obtain the license plate number of the green Charger on December 19th, 2024. On December 26, 2024, troopers determined that Kyren Lacy was the driver of the green Charger at the time of the crash. Just prior to the crash, Lacy was illegally in the opposing lane, passing southbound vehicles. The gold truck traveling north veered right to avoid a head-on collision with the green Charger. As the gold truck veered right, the driver of the Kia Cadenza saw the approaching green Charger. In reaction, the Kia Cadenza driver swerved left into the southbound lane and impacted a northbound Kia Sorento.
I mean, there we go. That's the argument. That's the argument. We're going to watch that again. Here we go, guys. Here we go.
Determined that Kyren Lacy was the driver of the green Charger at the time of the crash. Just prior to the crash, Lacy was illegally in the opposing lane, passing southbound vehicles.
Okay, see, and I think, like, look, and EDW, I'm going to move my picture right now. Hold on one second, chat. Yeah. So I moved my head. So anyway, here is Kyren Lacy. And then right behind this, EDW, you might be able to explain this. That Astros guy, this is the semi truck that came up to the crash. Because I think I think this is the Astros guy. And then obviously this is Kyren Lacy, and he is hauling ass. He is hauling ass. Am I correct? Yeah. The bottom left, Boomer. I'm moving. I'm moving. Okay, yes, that is him. Okay. I'm going to see what I can do to move. Hold on, chat. You got to pamper tampers. Okay, let's see what I can do to move this. There we go. All right, here we go. Just watch how fast he's fucking moving.
Crash, Lacy was illegally in the opposing lane, passing southbound vehicles. The gold truck traveling north veered right to avoid a head-on collision with the green Charger.
And that makes sense now, because we were wondering how far away were these cars? Well, I'm sure that Kyren Lacy's car was just closing at a massive fucking rate of speed. So it freaked out the truck driver. And that makes sense. That makes sense to me.
The gold truck veered right. The driver of the Kia Cadenza saw the approaching green Charger. In reaction, the Kia Cadenza driver swerved left into the southbound lane and impacted a northbound Kia Sorento. Through the investigation, troopers determined that the driver of the gold truck reacted appropriately to avoid a head-on collision with the green Charger, which was approaching at a high rate of speed. In consideration of the high speed of the green Charger compared to the surrounding and opposing vehicles, the reaction time of the involved drivers was greatly diminished. Since the incident occurred, the Louisiana State Police never reported that the green Charger impacted any of the involved vehicles. However, all evidence...
And yes, 72 yards when somebody's going like 90 miles an hour, that's going to be right in your face immediately. Like, because think about it. These guys have a combined approach speed. Like, their combined closure rate is like 100 miles an hour. It's over 100 miles an hour. The truck started slowing down. But, I mean, like, the closure rate of those two things, they're on top of each other right away. So, yeah, he freaked out the other driver, it looks like. Yeah. Yeah. I would have shit myself if I was the guy in the gold truck. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. People would go, holy shit, we need to bounce. Wouldn't surprise me at all. So, yeah, it looks like he did do it. It looks like he did do it. It looks like we weren't wrong. It looks like we weren't wrong. But let's continue with what the Louisiana State Police have here.
Evidence collected supports the conclusion that Lacy's reckless operation of the green Charger in oncoming traffic triggered the chain of events involving the other drivers, ultimately resulting in the fatal crash. Additionally, troopers determined that less than 10 minutes after the crash occurred, evidence supports that Lacy's first outgoing phone call was to a Baton Rouge area personal injury and defense attorney. After consultation with the Lafourche Parish District Attorney's Office on January 2nd, 2025, an arrest warrant was signed on January 8th, 2025 through the 17th Judicial Court for Kyren Lacy. In coordination with his attorney, Lacy was arrested on January 12th, 2025 at the Lafourche Parish Correctional Center. The driver of the Kia Cadenza was initially issued a citation for following too close, which was later amended to driving left of center. This incident resulted in numerous injuries and loss of life. All involved victims deserve a thorough and complete investigation based on all available factual evidence. Additional investigative reports and videos can be utilized through the Trending Topics link on the GovQA platform.
So there we go, chat. It looks like it, it looks like it happened. It looks like it happened kind of how the police have portrayed it. And that's, I understand what his attorney's doing here, but yeah, he was not the proximate cause. But he did initiate the chain of events. A woman driver made the abrupt choice to turn into oncoming traffic. Yeah, 10K view, I understand that, but here's the problem. And this is the argument people are going to make. When you start passing over and you're in a no passing zone and people think you're going to hit them, like you then cause the chain of events, and it should be foreseeable. If you're going to pass into oncoming traffic, the other lane, the people coming at you are going to panic and they might slam on their brakes. And then what could happen? Well, cars could go every which way. I would argue he is the proximate cause, but for him doing this, these accidents wouldn't have happened. But for. So, yeah, he set forth the foreseeable chain of events, and that's the thing. When when you've got cars going this way and that way, if you switch it up and you start going head on to cars, they're going to go every which way they can around you. So, yeah. Oh, it's Ariel. Yeah, you're right. That's the actual cause. Yes. But I think he was the actual cause and the proximate cause. Like, it's very clear he did this. Had he, there's no other way to say it. None of this would have happened had he not done anything. But it's for pooping, yes. Yeah, you only drive in the other lane when the road has dashes and not a solid line. I agree. 10KV says she was following too close to the gold pickup to brake. I don't think she was following close. I'm sure she was just shoving Funyuns in her face and probably playing on her phone and went, oh, fuck, there's a car in front of me. Well, when you start passing cars like an asshole, you run the risk that they're inattentive drivers in the other lanes. And you're responsible for what they do. So, January 6th, 2.0 says, as a truck driver, no one intends an accident, but accidents don't happen with intent. Most happen because of anger and ego. You all need Jesus. Well, we all do need Jesus. And, yeah, it's just rough. And EDW Raptor saying, I wouldn't pass there anyway. Remember, this is where, guys, remember, we're going to go back to this. Apparently, we can see from here, this is like EDW Raptor's house. Like, look, here's where EDW Raptor lives, apparently, down there. But yeah, he's saying there's no shoulder. Yeah, this is a rough area to pass. It's heavily congested. You've got a lot of little businesses and all kinds of there are a lot of ways you can have a very dangerous day if you're driving around. This could be very bad. This could be very bad. Boudreaux's restaurant looks like that's kind of closed. See what this is. Golf Cart World South. And gas is $3.35. Interesting. When I took this last. So, but anyways, this is when you start passing cars, people are going to panic. You're driving this way down the road, and all of a sudden you see some fucking asshole come screaming at you really fast. Guess what you're going to do? You're going to go, I'm getting out of the way, and you slam on the brakes. And guess what people behind you are going to do? And they're going to go this way. It's foreseeable that's going to happen. It's 100% foreseeable this would have happened. And if you can't foresee that, then maybe you shouldn't be driving. I mean, that's if you want to know the truth about it. So, But yes, he was right. Some of these accounts were wrong. But once again, guys, the video doesn't lie. And notice, he didn't show us the whole video. He only showed us that part where it shows him rolling up. He didn't show us the part where Kyren Lacy is going like down the highway. He doesn't show us that, and I don't think that's fair. So, good Emil, you're a wuzzle. Hold on one second. Guys, when you look at this, it's just a nasty, nasty stretch of road. This is just really tough. It's really, really tough. Yeah, he passed a bunch of cars at once, and yeah, it's a terrible spot to drive like an asshole. And that's the other thing, too. It's a double yellow line. You shouldn't have been doing it anyway. And yes, Marlene, you are correct as well. There are so many telephone poles in the way. Why are we driving like a dickhead around all these telephone poles? Like, this is not like there's nowhere to go. I mean, maybe off to your left, but there's telephone poles, and I'm sure that that's a big ditch. Yeah, this is not, it's not a safe place, guys. It's not safe at all. And we might be having a guest here very shortly. So that's a field. It's a field with a big ditch. So somebody could have been pulling out the traffic. I know, guys, we're looking at this. Going back down this way. I mean, look at all the stuff that's here. There's a gas station that looks like it's pretty well used. There is this golf course. This, like, look at this. There's all over here. And then more importantly, guess what's always probably going to have people at it? The Dollar General. I mean, so there's a lot of heavy traffic in this area. And if we go back up to where, if you look on the camera, this is about where you see Kyren probably come out and veer out to start passing. I think this is roughly where he started passing, was about here. Because there's a camera right here, and he kind of shows up. I think if you look at the cameras, it's probably like right here-ish, or like out to here is where the camera's field of view is. And this is probably where Kyren Lacy goes around. But here's the other thing. Like, look at this. You're now there's houses where there's people. Yeah, this is a very dangerous thing to do. And we do have a guest, guys. No, Nick Ricada is not joining me. Yes, if that was Stoney's Donuts, I'd be cutting a promo right now. No, guys, we actually have a guest. He is a resident of the area, and it's EDW Raptor. And he's gonna, I guess, explain some things here that we may not understand or know. Give us that nuance that we may lack. Thank you, EDW.
Oh, hello, Sean. Hello, chat. Am I coming in clear?
Like, this is a pretty shitty stretch of road, right?
Oh, it is. But I want to show you something real quick. Let's go back to the Dollar General. Go back, and we're going to take a look at it.
You mean your house, right?
My house, yes.
All right.
There's a lot of great people in this area, too, by the way.
Okay. Real quick, there's a speed limit sign right here, too.
Yep.
Speed limit's 40.
And he was obviously doing way over on this one.
And his closure rate would have been very fast for whoever's coming the other way.
So,
and then you said down here.
Yep. So, go the next one on your left. We got
but leaving this area down here, it's 50. Down this way, it looks like it's 55, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. And then here's the next set of speed limit signs, and we're going to turn around.
So as you can see, it drops to 40 right here, and not that far from here is the scene of the accident. So her doing near 50 kind of explains. Yeah, she was doing over the speed limit as soon as she passed this, but sometimes people slow down after the speed limit sign, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a continuous thing right here. So that's also another factor of she was being careless and was not paying attention at all. And this area, this road right here is a heavily congested road, not only on the side of the roads, but it has a lot of traffic almost every day, because this is the connection between Thibodeaux and the river where everybody works in the chemical plants there, and it's highly traveled.
Yeah, so you're saying up into the chemical plants are
right there
up along the river?
Vacherie. Yep, St. James, Vacherie.
So,
and then you cross over, there's more chemical plants in Garyville and Lutcher.
So
and
here's
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're saying, and this is the Mississippi River, right?
Yep.
Okay, and then you said a lot of people live down here and they drive up to go to work.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. And
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. So J6 is saying, and this is the thing I think is correct here. For $10, and this is where I kind of want to know the answer too. That truck looked like a brand new, like a modern, like Volvo style semi truck. Where's the dash cam on that thing? Because I kind of want to see it.
Okay. So this is actually a good crossover for me. I'm in the trucking industry. Dash cams are for insurance purposes mainly, right? So not all trucks will have the dash cam in there. That truck was an older model, so it definitely wouldn't. And if it's hauling lumber, that's going to tell me more than likely
He's local.
He's local, and they're not going to spend the money on a dash cam, most likely.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but again, it's like this didn't start off as a death investigation either. Earlier in the video at the scene, they're talking about how the two passengers had back injuries. So they weren't treating it as a death investigation from the start.
So, January 6, 2.0, EDW just told you to go fuck yourself. You don't know what you're talking about. No, but that makes sense if he's like hauling locally. If he's hauling locally, that guy probably does. If you're going within like 100, like, there's times where you don't need a CDL depending on how far you're driving. So, it does make sense. He may not have a dash cam. He may not, if it's not his rig and it's a lumberyard's rig, they probably don't care. That's a very good point. That's a very, very good point.
Yep.
Let's see here. Yes, that's the reason for a no passing zone. Well, I was going to ask you, are the cops out here a lot, or is this not is this not heavily patrolled?
Sometimes it is. It depends on the time of year, right? Definitely during the school year, it is patrolled because there is a school down towards Thibodeaux. So they'll have officers there. But Lafourche Parish is a very large parish. We are well off, but we do not have enough deputies to patrol the entire parish.
Well, do the state police come out here and run it or no?
State police, not often.
Okay. And this is that school you're talking about, right?
Yeah, right there. That'll be 6th Ward Middle School. I believe that's it. Or not 6th Ward, but Chack Bay Elementary. I'm not sure which one that is now.
So do you guys have wards? So is there a 9th ward too?
So no.
Or do they quit using that number?
They quit using that number. 6th Ward is actually further in the swamp back the other way. And it's a middle school, and it's the 6th. I'm not sure exactly how it's got its name. It's just it's a ward in that swamp area.
Okay.
Best I could say.
But yeah, guys, this is I mean, like as he's like this whole area. I mean, even there, like even where it's a passing zone, there's not a lot of. Wow, you guys have no shoulders on these roads.
And sometimes the road, I think right here it's 55 as well. So it gets scary.
I bet.
Get really scary.
And this turns into double. So he's no passing zone for a while. It's not like the lines just switch. I know some people might say, like somebody in chat asked, well, did the lines just switch up? No, it looks like no passing, no passing, no passing, no passing. There's a church at an intersection here. And You know, it's clearly no passing. And look, just more businesses, guys. More businesses, all kinds of a church, which
On
I don't think they would
Sunday,
have been in.
that on the side of the church, this parking lot right here will be packed with cars. Speed limit's 40 right here, but I always do 30 to 25 because there's way too much activity on both sides of the road right here.
Okay.
For the speed limit to be 40.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, this is just probably full. I mean, they've got the Catholic Center. I'm sure people park all over this place to go to church. And then you said those are some of the towns where people go work at, right?
Yeah. Well, not right here. The
names of these towns.
Napoleonville, no, that's towards Thibodeaux.
Okay. Oh, okay. I just don't know where we're going here. But yeah, then we're back now into, once again, you know, there's houses around, and then we come and like this is where he, like I said, guys, this is where he starts hauling ass. And he starts passing, and it looks like about here is where he gets back over, is about this area. And remember, that truck was about right here. And you're going like 90 miles an hour. Yeah, you're going to that truck, that looks like Kyren Lacy is going to be right on top of him. And this is where Kyren Lacy gets back into traffic, and then everybody panics and starts swerving, which is 100% foreseeable.
It is, and it's sad to say that passing like this and oncoming traffic, there's been many of times where I've had to slam on my brakes around here because people tend to drive a little reckless in my area, you know. And
is it common to pass a bunch of cars at once?
No, not at all, because again, there's no shoulder to avoid anything on if something bad happens on a lot of these roads.
Jay Byer says people stop on that road all the time to turn left. And certainly, if this was a case of the guy in the truck turning left and she did this, it's 100% her fault. And she was speeding and not paying attention. But the reason why the truck in front of her stopped was because Kyren Lacy was driving like a goofball. Had Kyren Lacy stayed in his lane and done the speed limit, this guy would have just kept driving and nothing would have ever happened.
And to be honest with her driving, I honestly think she has some culpability or some responsibility in this as well.
She may have a little bit in a negligence type of setting, but criminally, I don't think so. I mean, had he not done this, but there would never have been an accident. So. But yeah, this looks like a really rough stretch of. Yeah, this is a shitty little stretch of road. Are there a lot of accidents here?
In this area, yes.
Okay.
Especially when the fog starts happening too, as well. This place you won't be able to see ahead of you. The fog gets that bad.
And then John Kelman for $2 says, "He's white, chat." Thank you, John. Yes, this is the type of road, Edward says, is the type of road you slow down because you'll like to see a speed limit sign suspiciously covered in bushes and a cop immediately hiding after it. Yeah.
It happens. We have those kind of towns down here. As soon as the speed limit changes, if you're 1 mile per hour over, you're getting a ticket. They got to fund their department somehow.
And P-Dubs mentions a Marathon refinery in Garyville.
Yep.
And Halfire says she was wondering about the dash cams. Yeah, me too. I know. I was thinking about that as well.
And it kills me because that truck would have been in the perfect view to see everything ahead of them as well.
Yeah. So, if he was asked, he would have given it, and he just hasn't been asked. I'm sure the cops asked for it. And more importantly, I'm sure that Matt Airy, the Kyren Lacy's attorney, asked for that information.
Yeah.
Because if that would have been available, he would have been screaming from the rooftops. They didn't get this stuff from the guy. You know, he would have asked, "Did you have a dash cam? Was it working that day?" Yes. And if it existed, he'd have been screaming bloody murder that the police spoliated evidence, but he didn't, which makes me think he checked and there wasn't one there. So let me see here. What else do we have? Sweet Tooth says, "Are there gators in this area?"
Oh, tons of gators. You go by, you see the tree lines on both sides. That's swamp.
Okay.
That's where you leave civilization.
I mean, it kind of makes sense when you look at this here, because this is, I mean, the way these are done, yeah, I'm pretty sure anywhere that's just, these are the inhabitable areas, and this is just swamp, swamp. I mean, that's what it looks like. It's all the uninhabitable areas. Oof, that's a lot of swamp.
And there's more on the other side of the bayou as well.
You talking about up this way?
Well, I meant like, so.
All right, down here.
Zoom back out and you see Thibodeaux and everything to the west of Thibodeaux. You see like there's a huge line. That's the actual bayou and people live by it. That's even a bigger swamp right there.
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah, that's a lot. Like, yeah, this is all right here. This is where alligators live. That's just all swamp. Oof. That is. Oof. Oh, and we're not that far from New Orleans. Okay.
Nope.
Yeah. Although the one thing I'm trying to figure out. Oh, wow. Okay. I thought Baton Rouge was like way up this way, because I was confused about why this guy's going to practice. Like, he's hauling ass and he's in this area and he's here, but he has to get all the way up to here.
So at the time, I believe they were stating that he was actually doing a practice in Vacherie. So I think it might have been a more private practice.
Oh, okay. Probably getting ready for the draft. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. I was wondering, why is he going? Because if you're that far away, you're not going to make it. And I was kind of confused about how he's
I'm not sure. It could have been because that's actually the route we have to use to get to Baton Rouge.
Oh, is, going up this way and then coming up and over?
Yeah, so the road he was on, you'll go to Vacherie, you'll cross the bridge, get on I-10, and then head up to Baton Rouge.
Oh, okay. Then you just come up here and... Okay. Okay. I was just wondering what he was... I was wondering about that. Actually, you know what? We'll do something here, chat. We'll pick, like, right here. And we'll do directions to LSU. We'll go to Tiger Stadium.
Death Valley.
Yeah. Oh, it's like an hour. So it's an hour away.
Yeah.
So he probably wasn't going there. He probably wasn't going all the way there. Okay. So no, I mean, it looks like he did it, guys. I'm not. This isn't as obvious here. I think he did it.
There's stuff that, more information that's not out in the public where I'm kind of questioning even the culpability of anybody in this. And, there's more stuff to it that nobody has actually brought up. So it's just,
well, what happened?
Really
Can you tell us?
I can't. It's not public, and it's, yeah. I'm not.
Like, were they gay? Or, like, what was it?
Oh, no. It's in regards to the victim who died.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, it's nothing bad. It's just like the whole circumstances behind this whole ordeal. It's just.
Yes. Tell them why I'm wrong. Destiny thinks I'm wrong. The Devilverse thinks I'm wrong. You need to join up and tell them why I'm wrong.
And the reason I'm not saying all this is we're not going to have a trial, right? All this information is not going to be brought out. It's not, and it's also not going to be brought out in the court of public opinion, right? It's just death stuff, and it's really tragic that anybody had to die in this, right?
Sure.
More or less 2 people.
No, I agree. I agree. It's sad people had to die. So, Tech Guy says it smells like corn dogs here. And where is John Coleman says for $2? This does not look like Tiana's Bayou Adventure, EDW. Then Kingslayer Damocles saying, wait, I thought the cops hated edited videos. Or is it only editing in videos where cops look bad that they complain about editing? I mean, you're correct. They don't like doing that, but when they can use it, they'll use it. I mean, I'm just saying what's been presented, it looks really bad. It looks like Kyren Lacy, heading up and driving like a dumbass wouldn't have scared the other traffic and caused the problem. At least to me, that's how I'm looking at it right now.
Hey guys, another reason why I'm not saying anything is because what I was told could be also possibly not even true.
Ah.
So I kind of trust my sources on it, but at the same time, I'm not going to put out something out there that's also going to add more chaos.
The source is Kyren Lacy. He's the Ouija board chat. J6 2.0 says, I'm a flatbed trucker. He's an owner-operator. He owns the footage. It being an older truck is irrelevant. I don't know a trucker that doesn't have a camera. Like I said, I mean, it seems weird that even Kyren Lacy's attorney didn't go run this down, and he would have known about it. So I think that's, once again, it's one of those deals where it's a thing that what didn't happen tells you a lot about what did happen. And this is one of those times. And then Amateur Iconoclast says, was I the only one expecting EDW to sound like Gilbert Dautrieve on King of the Hill? Yes. I was expecting you to sound like Bill.
Oh, come on.
Spud gun for £2 sterling. The King Sterling says EDW Raptor works in the truck industry equals, yes, a lot lizard. You work in the trucking industry. Are you the guy that makes sure that like the little caps go on the DEF bottles?
I just push paperwork.
Well, Kayla says, I'm sad EDW doesn't have a Bayou accent. Yeah. So a bunch of people got let down. Was it Naked Twister night? No. Now, let me see here. What is it? Let me see here. What else have we got here? Marlene says, a difference. What is this point does the trailer dash cam make? Well, remember the truck would be up so much higher, you would be able to see the entire thing. So, I mean, it would just be the complete, uncontested, 100% view of the entire accident. That would tell us everything. Let me see here. What else? Thank you for bringing this up, EDW. I appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to say about this area or comment on it?
Not really. It's just our roads are not all that great. A lot of this, there's a lot of reasons why you don't want to swerve out into the field or out to your right when you're driving. A lot of times the only option is to swerve to the left into oncoming traffic.
Really? Jeez.
Yeah.
Oof. That's awful.
And just hope there's nobody there because it's all swamp because like you've seen, there's ditches on both sides of the road close up.
Yeah. I mean,
we don't have that much area to build in.
So, yeah, I guess there's a good example. Like, you go in the drink or you take your chances over here.
This stretch is scary, especially at night and if there's heavy fog. And there's also a bridge on this road that crosses another bayou. Extremely narrow bridge.
Do people go in this river?
Oh, all the time.
Oh. Oof. The roads are the only high points.
Yeah, no, it is true because a lot of these roads are because of old Indian trails, right? There's one that's called the Spanish Trail. They were the high points to get between areas because those were the old bayou beds that built the natural levees and their old natural levees that became, I guess, pass for the Native Americans at the time to pass on.
Okay, so yeah, this is yeah, this looks very.
And I know, like you're in like old, like searching old property lines and everything in your oil field days. Because the French way of dividing land is just these long stretches of land from the water.
Well,
It'll
even
be-
here you could see it. They do long stretches of land from the road.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because you really notice this here where it's all these different little properties, and that's a very unique way to do it. That's a very unique way to do it. But yeah, you see all these little. That's so interesting. It's so funny and it's so weird.
It makes for good times though in high school. Going out in the middle of the cane fields and do stupid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Hoping not to get caught by farmers.
Let's see here. We need EDW's commentary as your straight man to your humor. Well, thank you, 10K view. That's great. All right, EDW. Well, thanks for joining us, man. I appreciate it.
Been my pleasure, Sean.
Yeah, no, thanks. That helped a lot. And yeah, I still kind of think the guy, it looks like the guy did it. Looks like Kyren Lacy caused the stuff, at least to me.
And honestly, Matt Ory is an incredible defense attorney, and he is doing a fantastic job.
Yeah. I don't think he's making shit up. And
if this even with the trial, I believe, it's all depends on the jury on that day, because it could have went either way with the evidence shown so far.
Okay. Yeah, no, and I did do some reading on this guy, and he does seem pretty good. But yeah, like I said, I don't think he's making things up. I think he's just running with what he's got and pointing out the things here. But I think he glosses over the fact his client was driving like a dickhead.
Yeah.
It's trying to gloss over that. Because it looks really, it's one thing to say 72 yards, but when we're looking at it, oh man, that's very close.
And as a defense attorney, you're trying to make your client look as best as possible.
Yeah. But remember, you don't absolutely bullshit him and say he was
That's
nice, you don't do the 48 hours thing like he wanted to work on computers. Okay. Lolita Smile says, why else would he kill himself? At the end of the day, well, we use those words here. We don't talk about pews and grape. No, we say the words guns and rape. We say it all the time. We're not afraid. We're not afraid at all.
Rape.
I think the biggest thing probably for Kyren Lacy, this probably killed his draft element, his draft value. Maybe he thought he was going to go to prison. Like, people panic. People panic when they get accused of, like, this stuff happens. It's not uncommon. So, he wouldn't be the first guy that gets indicted. They get indicted and they go home and just, like, it happens. It happens.
And it's just sad that it happened 1 day before, or 1 or 2 days before the grand jury even happened, which could have cleared him off right there.
Oh, I understand. Yeah. Hatfire says we don't want to nuke your channel. No, don't worry about it. We'll be all right. Yeah, his draft stock was, pretty high the first 4 rounds, which means he was going to stand to make decent money probably.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the closing speed, 138-mile-an-hour closing speed between them, and that would make sense that the guy in the gold truck's going 40 and Kyren Lacy's going 90 or so. That is 67 yards a second. So at that moment, that guy's like, oh my God, he's on top of me. And then he swerves and gets out of the way and sets it all off. So, you guys can't say chat? Well, suffer. All right. Well, EDW, I'm going to let you go, man. Do you know how to get out of here? If you don't want to get kicked out. All right.
Later, guys.
Ban. There he's gone. He's gone, chat. Ban. And now, chat, because we are doing some things here. I do have a confession, chat. You guys do need to understand. We do have a change in programming here, and I want you guys to understand how serious I am about this. This was never a law channel, and in fact has always been, as a programming note tonight, it has always been a train channel. So we are no longer talking about the law. It was never a law channel. This is always covertly a foamer channel. So this is what we're doing from now on, chat. This is always what we've been here for. You know, I want people to share their stories involving the rail industry. Angela says, well, yes. It's about time, chat. It's about time. 2.0 must have given me a big bottle of Tylenol. Yeah. Why not Foamer Law channel? Because I'm not joking. When it comes to law on the railroads, they get to do whatever the hell they want. They have their own labor act. The railways have all kinds of laws that help them only. So it is very difficult to get what you need from them. Marlene says, I thought you promised us Amish murder defendants. Well, guys, we did have the the trial here. It's happening in Cleveland. The lady who stabbed the kid. That, from what I watched yesterday, was kind of spotty, and I didn't get to see today's feed. But yeah, they weren't very good. They weren't very good. I'm about to spend that chat money on TLCs. Oh no, that's bad. That's bad. Yeah. Yes. Porqué. Let's see here. You're good portion of my family is part of the railroad. Please no. Well, I mean, really, we're gonna give you training skills to bond with your family, Keopathic. There we go. Diane says, my dad loved the big boy. You lost your accent in speech therapy. Oh. Yes, I had so much Tylenol, Yana. I'm retarded now. Yes, I only play Monopoly to buy the train pieces. Yes, my Monopoly board is just 4 spaces. Which railroads do you own? You derailed the legal system? A little bit you have. So, this is infuriating when the sound is bad. Well, I'm sorry. I don't try to be. Sweet Tooth says he sent me the link to the Taylorship business video. Okay. We'll take a look at that here. Let's see. Sorry, excuse me, chat. SB Sellers, Sean, can you tell chat about civil versus civil law and Napoleonic law? Yeah, so the Napoleonic law, it's a obviously Napoleonic, but it's a different type of legal regime compared to the Western common law system. Now, that said, though, a lot of Louisiana does have, they do use common law parts, but, it's controlled inheritances, it controlled marriages, and controlled by their own way. But it also, it's while it's there in Louisiana, it's not the end all be all. There's a lot of normal, law from the rest of the country that is kind of filtered in there to change things up for them. Say Phillies are taken to the Dodgers. Well, that's no good. If you are a Dodgers fan, that's gonna suck. The Portland Antifa camp at the ICE facility has been removed. Yeah, nice. That is perfect. I love the B&O. Yeah, that's it. Yes, there's only one reason why I love them. Oh, Joe says, what happened to the Ohio court stream? It never got better. And from what I heard today, it wasn't much better, but I'll take a look at it. Have I seen anything of the Ascara escaping the death penalty case where there blows up his client and calls him an idiot to the judge? No, I don't. No, I've not heard of this one. Send me the story. I'm kind of curious. Maybe I have heard it, but I don't think. Doesn't sound like it to me. 10K uses civil laws, no real precedence for well, there's a civil, like we have civil law, but in the Napoleonic law and the Napoleonic codes, they operate differently. I mean, it's nowadays in Louisiana, it's not that different, but yes, for a long time, Louisiana still had, they had courts of equity for a very long time. We talked about equity and law merging in almost everywhere else. Louisiana had equity courts for a long ass time. But yeah, the Napoleonic stuff is a very big leftover, but a lot of that's been, I guess, it's been allowed to stay in certain spots, but for the most part, it's kind of getting pushed out and absorbed into common law issues where possible. Let's see here. Quebec follows civil law versus the rest of Canada. Well, yeah, they do their things. Air Dude says it was hilarious following the locals PD around that portion of LA. Oh, Jose Soto Escalera. Okay. Let me see here. Let me see. Yeah, it's been merged in our common law and it operates like common law, but we use terms like the Napoleonic Code. And that's the thing, guys, because remember, like all the different things that you would do in every other state, you can do in Louisiana legal, speaking of like terms and whatever. They may just have a different, like where do you do it, or they may have it under a different name. But yeah, nowadays it's pretty much all been assimilated. Stop yawning. Stop crying! Stop crying! Yes, it's unreal that all these fires are started by people. Well, people do that. People like starting fires, and it looks like the one guy out in the Pacific Palisades is accused of starting a fire, but it doesn't make sense the way, like, I guess the timeline's been presented, but I think that's up to what's going on there. If only their court records were easy to access. Well, that's a lot of states. If Ohio's were easy too. So. And I think Dolly, yeah, okay, I see this, yes. What is this here? Let me see. How long is this thing? We'll save this for tomorrow because that'd actually be really good for tomorrow. All right, guys. I think we are all caught up here. You do some modeling to wake up. No, we're going to go to sleep. I got to get some sleep. I need the sleep. I'm going to put, if you don't go to sleep, I will put you to sleep. The client was upset. Lawyers being friendly to the prosecutor. That's why I don't do that. That is one of the reasons why I don't do that stuff, especially if my clients are around. Because, a lot of times people think you're already in cahoots with the prosecutor and you don't want to make it worse. So that's why when I'm in court with my client, I'm very, formal when I speak to them. You got to be careful about how you do that. Yes. Well, there's that song, They Call Her Amphetamine. Who sings that? I think Everclear sings that. The lawyer calls the jury murderers in his closing, and they're different from his client. Well, that too, yeah. That'd be funny. No, we need to start over. You came in here late. Yeah, well, we're not. So, chat, we are going to land this plane here. There are quite a few of you here hanging out. Guys, I appreciate it very, 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 very much. Thank you to everybody on Rumble. Thank you to everybody, especially Letty, your super chats, BCM010. Thank you as well. And then ultimately, it's the Save the Ostriches, yes. Yes, up in Canada. So, I hate the Kick Bros. Guys, like I said, I'm trying to balance it out because I know people like Kick, but I know a lot of people like Rumble. So we got to go back and forth. We got to go back and forth. So, James Reed saying no. Well, suffer, James. That is a suffer. Nika says no one's liked Rumble. Some people do. Some people like it a lot. But guys, yes, once again, thank you, EDW Raptor, for explaining the area a little bit. It does help us, God almighty, that looks like a terrifying stretch of road to be on, and try to, when there's a no passing zone, just hauling ass around. So, like I said, do I think, he's got advanced criminal liability? No, he's got some. He would have had some. Do I think the lady driving the car would have had some? Probably not. She probably would have just had some civil liability. So, that's kind of where we are with this. Am I eepy? Yes, I am. I'm very eepy. So, with that said, chat, we're hitting the brakes, and we will see you guys tomorrow night at 9:30 for the Thursday night show. We're going to be covering the guys who guy tried to blow up the Supreme Court at its red mass, and apparently had like 200 devices on him. Like, what exactly does that mean? Because that's like 200 pipe bombs, 200 like mines. Like, what exactly did this guy have? And he probably didn't have any of that stuff. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Let's see. There's some other stuff there, but we'll get to all that tomorrow. We will get to all of that tomorrow. Yes, 200 vapes. No. So, chat, with that said, we are going to leave here, and I will see you guys tomorrow. And remember, until next time. Oh, hold on here. That's right. Just because you did it does not mean you're guilty. Stay warm out there, chat, and don't get too cold. It's cold out there. Snuggle up tonight.
Weapons, blacksmithing, and models of planes, esoteric works, and even some trains. Much merriment had while drinking White Claws, tips on hunting, and even talking the law. Whatever you do, just don't talk to cops, even when they nab you on illegal stops. Just 'cause you did it doesn't mean you're guilty, but please talk to a local attorney. Was that the fat guy?